Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. How many sales have you lost this month, or this year, or in this cycle, whatever it might be? The fact of the matter is that as a salesperson, when you get to be a successful person, you're going to realize when you've lost a sale or you've let it go. Now, when I say let it go, it's like this. Some sales that you close are going to be more than one call. It might be 2 or 3 calls. And in my methods of the 6-figure selling system, I talk about the 5 calls, the fast 5. And you haven't closed yet. What's holding you back? Is it the customer? Because if it is, then that customer's decision is partly based on you. And when you are the person who is basically in charge of the sale, you have to look for all the opportunities. The little hints, the little micro hints are like you ask a person a question about the product and they answer more than yes or no and they elaborate. And the way that happens is you ask a question that begs them to elaborate. It begs them to speak a little bit more than just yes or no. So instead of saying, can you see yourself owning this product or service, you want to put it in this type of a question. When you get this service, how will you start using it and when? You can't answer yes or no to that. They're going to say, well, when I get it, I will be doing this. Or they might say, listen, I haven't bought it yet, or I don't know if I'm going to buy it. At which point you can ask them a little bit more, but get them talking. And most importantly, while they're talking, make sure that you are listening, because it's not only what you hear, it's what you hear up here. This is where the sale is made. And if you relax and you just talk yourself into being comfortable having a conversation, you'll be amazed at how the focus is not on selling, because if you're worried about money, then your anxiety is going to dominate your thinking, and you're going to be thinking about closing, and you're probably going to move too fast, probably talk too much, and you're going to miss the yes. Now, why would that equal missing the yes? Because all of us who have worked for a lot of years have missed opportunities, including yours truly. Years ago, I went to sell to an international company, and I had a product that I created and I wanted them to buy. Interestingly enough, they didn't want to buy my product. They wanted to buy me. And they offered me a position to work for them, which at the time, if I had taken it, would have propelled me into an area where I could sell anything I wanted to sell. But being too naive, I like to call it stupidity, I missed the opportunity, and I said, I'll think about it, and I didn't get back to them. While I was thinking about it, somebody else who was very eager came in and said yes, and I missed out. Now I go back 2 weeks later, opportunity's gone. Sorry. You've heard the term, opportunity only knocks once. That's a perfect example of it. That's not the only mistake I made. I also was sitting in a lobby waiting for an appointment to sell a product, and I happened to get into a conversation with a woman who just happened to talk about what she was looking for. And what she was looking for is exactly what I had in my briefcase at the time. Now, instead of handing her my card, I said to her, let me get your phone number and I'll give you a call. When I could have very easily closed that sale right there on the spot, but I was afraid I might miss my appointment and I didn't know who she was. I didn't realize that she was one of the most important person in that business. And if I had just simply closed the sale right there, not only would that have been $1 million sale over the next 10 years, but it would have been something that could not be repeated. Because when do you get an opportunity where you get to meet a customer in a random place and they tell you what they want and it happens to be what you're selling? And if you were naive like me, just not sophisticated enough to realize that it was right in the palm of my hand, that's what I mean by missing the yes. Now, what happened is I got her phone number and then I went into my appointment and didn't close that guy. Okay? Now, when I went to call the person, she must have had 20 levels of screeners on the phone to keep people from bugging her because she was that important of a person. And I couldn't get through to her. And I missed out on the opportunity to close that sale. I didn't say all the right things. What I should have said to her was, my name is Al Green, and written it on my business card. Call me, or something, or tell your secretary to call me. Something to set the tone so that I could easily walk through that door. I could have gone to her office and said, I'm here. I had a conversation with Mrs. whatever her name was, and she was looking forward to speaking to me, and get through in some other way. And I found since then hundreds of ways to get through. But back in the day, I had no idea how to get through. If you're in that position, you're struggling like I was. Now, my struggling went away when I got a little bit more bold and I relaxed and I learned how to ask all the right questions so that the information would be absolutely clear. For example, if I had said, listen, how do I get in touch with you? And she said, here's my card, call me. I could have very easily said, now, is it easy to get through you, or are there people that are going to be wanting to screen me out because you're probably getting a lot of phone calls? Could you write down, here's my card, could you write down to expect my phone call and give it to your secretary and ask your secretary to make sure that when I call, that the call gets put through? That's what I would have said today. Back in the day, I had no idea I would be screened out. As a result of that, I learned how to bypass the screeners and the gatekeepers. And it got me into places that really made some great sales, and I made a lot of money. And that's what I want to share with you, is how to do that. It's not something I can teach in 1 minute. It's part of the 6-figure selling system, which I want you to join me with, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. This is a system that whenever it was implemented, the person who implemented it was successful and did exactly what I said they would, which is they would set the goal and hit the goal every single time. Because it's not that hard to hit a goal when you set it yourself. There's nobody opposing you except for you. You have to come from here. It has to come from the heart that you are going to hit that goal. It's like, imagine you're playing soccer and all you got to do is kick the ball into the field goal on the other side, and there's no team playing. You're practicing. You're alone. There's no opposition trying to block you. They're not trying to intercept the ball and take it away from you. It's just you and the field and the goal posts. And now all you got to do is kick the ball there. That's how simple it is. Who's your opposition? 99% of the time it's you. Don't be the opposition. Be the field kicker. Be the one that's going to put it through. Don't be naive like me, because I'm going to teach you how not to be that way. Again, looking back, I missed an opportunity that would have changed my entire life back then, and I would have gone in a completely different direction. But the direction I went in is the direction I made good with because I used that adversity to propel me to do everything right the next time. So join me in the six-figure selling system, and I will see you then.